Alright guys, so I wanted to do a quick health update. I just sat down in the dirt, so my butt is kind of dirty now. But I'm just over here by the water getting some work done and doing some things and meditating, taking a walk, all that good stuff. So anyway, so I had my annual blood work done a little bit early this year. So I did it back in, I guess it was late February maybe. So like my annual checkup thing and all that. So I got that done and it came back showing that my blood sugar was elevated and that my cholesterol was apparently worse than last time. So I don't know, I've got to have I called the doctor's office so they could send me a copy. So she said they were sending it in the mail, so I should hopefully get it by tomorrow. So they're sending me a copy of the exact results so I can actually read the exact numbers, because I don't know about you guys, but I hate how, you know, you'll get your test done and they won't be exact with you. And I guess that's just because so many people don't understand like how the numbers work and everything like that. But it's so annoying for me because I'm like, just tell me like details, you know, like, okay, so you say elevated, like, are we talking, how much are we talking? You know what I mean? Are we borderline? Are we a little bit? Are we high? Like, it's just so confusing. And then, you know, it's like with the cholesterol and stuff, it's like, all you're going to tell me is it's worse, but you're not going to tell me, you know, what category it's in. You're not going to tell me the numbers. Like, it's so frustrating. So with that being said, I am ultimately going to look at those numbers and then I will let you guys know. However, since late February, or I think it was like the first week of March, I got my results back or whatever. It's been almost a month now, not quite, something like that. And so ever since then, I have been a little bit, I changed my diet a little bit. So before, I was still eating pretty healthy, like, but I just wasn't watching my carbohydrate intake a whole lot, and I wasn't like as strict about things like having a treat, you know, every other day, like having a cookie or having, you know, just a little something, you know, and sometimes I was having a treat every single day, and I was still strict about only allowing myself like one treat per day or every other day. But in the same point, I think that maybe that probably contributed to my blood sugar being a bit elevated. So just for a little bit of history, like, my thyroid is better. My thyroid has been good for a while. So I do take medication for that. I do take levothyroxine, 50 micrograms, and I've been on that for some time. I did try to get off it a few times and handle the situation naturally, but due to my family history and everything, genetically, it's just not possible for me. My numbers go way out of whack and cause all kinds of problems. And so unfortunately, I do have to take the levothyroxine unless I eventually find another way to handle it, which could very well be the case. And I certainly do hope for that. Don't get me wrong. I don't like having to take medication indefinitely. But aside from that, aside from the thyroid being regulated, I think it was like around the time I was 30 or 31, I guess about 30, I did have one time that my blood sugar was borderline, and I think at the same time my cholesterol was like just a little bit high, I want to say, like, so anyways, so cholesterol and blood sugar can tend to go usually hand in hand. And so typically if you lower the blood sugar, the cholesterol will follow at least somewhat. So that's, you know, kind of, and I've always known that, so that's something I'm trying to, you know, to hopefully the blood sugar situation will resolve with the cholesterol, or yeah, first, and then, you know, that will follow. So we shall definitely see. But hold on, sorry, I was getting a call, so I just had to press the red button, because if I don't, it will mess with my my voice when I take my videos. So anyways, I don't mean to ramble on, but again, I am, diet-wise, I am just simply going low glycemic. I'm just very low glycemic at the moment. So I'm not really so much, like, I'm trying to incorporate eating more fish, like 2 to hopefully 3 times a week on the fish. And you know, canned or fresh, frozen, whatever, just a combination. So I'm doing that. And in terms of like cholesterol and whatnot, my blood pressure, I check it every day and it's always great. Sometimes it runs kind of on the low side, so that's good news. I mean, and then when it comes to the diet, just I have been watching my carbs. I'm not like going 0 carb or anything like that, because I just can't do that, but I've been getting stuff like low glycemic rice, like from the diabetic section at the grocery store, like just stuff like that. Like there's, you know, even getting like gluten-free versions of stuff too can help with that. And so I have just been very religious, pretty much just like almost a 0 sugar diet, not exactly, no added sugars, period, only 1 serving of fruit per day, because I feel like it's still important to get fruit, but fruits that are better for your blood sugar are stuff like berries, bananas not so much, avocados, berries are really good for that, so I've been eating mostly those in terms of fruit, and still eating quite like a lot of protein, and just like I say, just avoiding sugar, eating lower glycemic options and stuff like that, and just, you know, eating a lot of like keto or paleo type foods. And so I have not lost any weight, and it's frustrating because at first I thought like my stomach was getting flatter, and I guess the scale dropped like a couple of pounds, but then after a couple weeks, like it just kind of stalled, and you know, it's back to where it was. And I get really bloated throughout like different times of the month, so I've been working on gut health and things like that, but that's something I've been dealing with for a couple years, so it's not like a huge deal. So, and of course with my hypothyroidism, I tend to, you know, even though it's regulated, like I still do experience some symptoms with that. So with that being said, that's all I have for you guys on the health update. I was a bit frustrated, don't get me wrong. I hate the fact that I'm 34, and to be honest, most of my life is focused on health and fitness, and you know, it sucks to have genetic predispositions that cause these things. And I know it's genetic because I've been so diligent for the most part over the years, and I don't know, just I know my mom has had high cholesterol at a couple points, just a little bit, but she's been able to regulate hers. The first couple times that I had the high cholesterol, like I was able to get that back down as well. The blood sugar I was able to get down pretty quick as well, so I'm not worried about it, because I do feel it's definitely reversible in my case and in a lot of cases. I mean, I'm not saying it always is if it gets really, really bad, but I think like, especially when you catch it early, you know, or you catch it when it's not super high, I think it's usually reversible. It's not easy though, but you know, being a person that works out every day, that meditates, that does all these healthy things, all these supplements I take, like it's just so incredibly frustrating to be at this age and have that, like, and I think it's just because our bodies are so imperfect nowadays, just from, you know, even if it's not a genetic predisposition, you know, the air, the pollution, the changes in the water and our environment in general, the food is so subpar, especially here in the US. So, you know, but with that being said, I'm not really too concerned. I mean, I feel pretty good. Like I still hope to lose 10 pounds eventually, because I did gain 10 pounds a good year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, and I still can't lose it. But I have tried so hard. But definitely stay tuned for updates, because I'm going to be doing a couple more health updates pretty soon, and I'm also going to be retesting my cholesterol at home. Probably either this week or next, so I will let you guys know how that goes as well. And then I will get everything retested at the lab at my next follow-up appointment, which is in August. Yeah, not till August. So, but in the meantime, I do home tests a couple times a year as well, to keep on top of everything with my thyroid, just my TSH as well. So anyways, I know I've been rambling in this video, but I've been meaning to do an update for a while. So I am about to go and make dinner. I gotta make some tilapia tonight in the air fryer, so that's gonna be great. But yeah, stay tuned, because I've got some exciting health content coming up, and I'm also gonna show you guys my okra water and tell you about the okra water that I'm starting. I know it's like so viral right now, but anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.